Alright, so now we're going to go through a quick history of radiation. It started with the discovery by Wilhelm Röntgen of X-rays. He discovered them and then took a picture of his wife's hand, and she kind of freaked out. It's like, I've seen my death. But he got the very first Nobel Prize for his discovery of X-rays. In 1896, this guy named Henry Becquerel noticed that uranium was radioactive. Of course, we didn't really know what that meant exactly, but he knew it was emitting some form of radiation, whatever that meant, because it exposed some film that he had, and he saw an image on that film, and it's like, oh, that must be from the uranium. So he got one half the Nobel Prize in 1903 for that. The other half went to the Curies because they basically made the exact same discovery, because they noticed uranium fogged up some photographic plates that they had, and so they got the other half of that Nobel Prize. Marie Curie was then the one that actually named that situation, that process, radioactivity, and so now we call those penetrating rays and particles radiation because of Marie Curie. Marie and Pierre, husband-wife combo, they got really interested in Becquerel's work, and they suspected that a uranium ore, we call it pitchblende, didn't just have uranium that was radioactive, it had another element at least that was radioactive. So they started looking for other elements, and they discovered polonium, which they named after Poland, and radium, which they named after the Latin word for rays, and both of those were more radioactive than uranium. Unfortunately, Pierre gets run over by a carriage in 1906 and dies, and so Marie is a widow, and she got the 1910 Nobel Prize for their discoveries of polonium and radium. She's the first person to get two, and she ended up getting an element named after her as well, number 96. Come World War I, she stopped her research. She was a good person too. Organized portable x-ray machines to send out to the doctors on the front, and trained students to locate bullets and broken bones. She also established a military radiotherapy service to help destroy diseased tissue from patients, and she worked really hard to raise money for that institute. She came to the United States to raise money for it. In 1927, 29 of these really famous scientists, a lot of them we'll talk about later if you don't already recognize them, including Einstein, Bohr, Schrödinger, all of those. And she got invited, and this is a picture that was taken. It's pretty cool. Here is Marie right here. And then we got, let's see, there's Albert Einstein. So we'll talk about some of those other guys, but she was the only woman to get invited, so it's pretty awesome. She was a cool lady. Irene, her oldest child, actually got her own Nobel Prize because she discovered artificial radioactivity, a normal element changing into a radioactive one because we cause it to happen. Her work in the 30s was an important step for us to actually be able to do uranium fission, which we're going to talk about a lot in a little bit as well.